How does like compassion arise when you're doing Zen practice?
You know, Eli's talk was a lot about this tri-mind that we talk about so much, and the Buddha talked about a lot. He said that right effort was one of those things that was very difficult, almost like tuning a guitar. You have to tune all the tuning pegs, and the guitar makes just the right sound, but before you know it, there's moisture in the air, or it gets too hot or too cold, and that guitar is out of tune. So it's this constant tuning that we do, which goes back to this tri-mind, almost tuning ourselves in all the time to the moment. And at the same time, there's this other teaching which always really speaks to me, and you guys have heard me say it a lot. It's a quote from, I believe, the Buddha in one of his teachings, and he said, without cultivation, already you are complete, right? So if we look around ourselves, you know, today I had a moment after work before the talk, and my head was like a little jammed up. It felt like a little bit of a bowling ball up there. And I was thinking about, what do I want to talk about? And I thought, let me just go sit outside for a minute. And, you know, there's the flowers blooming, and there's birds singing, and the trees are rustling in the wind. And I saw this, and I'm like, without cultivation, already you are complete. So I looked at all of these parts in nature, and I thought, that tree doesn't have to try, those leaves aren't trying to blow or to not blow in the wind. And there are some roses in different colors, and they were just perfect as they were. And I thought, they're not having to do a kilche to bloom in this beauty and know what color to be and know just how to smell. I got this question, well, what about us? Back to what Eli was saying is, why do we have to try so hard to be our true self? What is that about? And we human beings, the reason I think that is because we have this thinking, thinking, thinking. So we don't really believe our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Because whenever we do, whenever we're in the moment 100%, and we completely believe our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind, then we become one with the universe. And so then there's trust in the way things are. But the reason we have to keep trying, or we have to keep tuning our guitar, and we have to keep showing up when it's hard, is because rather than believe in our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind, we give much more credence to our opinion, our condition, and our situation, right? So we believe our ideas more than we believe our true self. And that's the problem where, you know, maybe we could call it, instead of a problem, you know, it's the challenge or an opportunity of being a human being, is to recognize that when it's appearing. And that's why we practice, because we're returning back to that before thinking substance. So your before thinking substance, my before thinking substance, skies before thinking substance, you know, waters before thinking substance. That's where we all connect. That's where we all become one. That's where without cultivation, already you are complete occurs, is that before thinking. So as human beings, we have this strong habit to think and to hold. And we have our opinion, we have our condition, we have our values, we have our morals, we have our society place we think we are, you know, we have our likes, we have our dislikes. And that's what Eli was talking about. Those are the places where we suffer. And those are the places where, when we hold that, we can't find true compassion, because we separate ourselves from others and we make opposites. You know, so me and other is one kind of opposite that we make. And if we make that, we have to protect and defend what we think is this fictitious I. And also another thing that we make that's opposite is life and death, good and bad, enlightenment and ignorance. Those are constructs of our mind. So compassion appears by itself, again, when we can go back to this before thinking. And so that was your question. It's like, how does practicing help that compassion to grow. It's like if you're not thinking, then you see that bird on the side of the road getting hit. It's like your heart breaks too, because you and this bird are not separate. So yeah, it raises up that awareness that we're all together. So we're all part of the same universal substance. And practicing is the weirdest thing in the world. We're told just to breathe in and breathe out. Those are the basic instructions, and not hold anything. And it's not like a 20-page manual or anything. It's pretty basic. And what happens as we start to do that is just completely magical. And like Eli also said, we have these wonderful experiences, and then we have these times when we want to get up and run as fast as we can out of the Dharma room because we're just so bored, or our legs hurt, or we don't want to deal with something. And that staying power is very important, because if we can stay and we can show up and stay through it, we see these things come and they go, and they come, and sure enough, they go. And if we don't reach out and hold on to them and identify with them, then they don't have the power to move us around. So we watch them come and go, and pretty soon we're not taking it personally anymore.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very well said.